it looks like the two runners on the left are racing each other, and the two runners on the right are racing each other. I know some other layouts on the other tournaments here have had it top and bottom, or in case of teams, the teams are on the same side. But this time, the people on the same side are racing each other, just so we are clear as to the actual layout. Paratroopa is against BigZeeff, DemonBattler is against Herbaceous.
Yes, and we will be starting on. And one thing that the Mario 3 randomizer goes through, randomizes, and we will find this out throughout the game, throughout the race, is it randomizes the world order. Although it will always end with World 8, tonight we are starting with the Pipe World, normally World 7. An interesting world because another thing that is randomized in this is where your pipes take you. So we are starting off with a maze.
Always fun to start off with a maze. Not.
Well, and it appeared that the free pipe took everyone to the southern island, which generally isn't a place that you want to go. So it appears that everyone's going through the first level, through level 1 of the map, and finding themselves on the southwest island. Which
and the level in question, interesting, is kind of a little bit of French vanilla here. I think this is actually vanilla 7.3 that we're going through here.
Interesting. And there's not much of a maze, unfortunately, for World 7, as the basic path takes us to the island that you want to be at. So, and where we have a 1-5.
Yeah, 1-5, and we will possibly see the beta version of this stage later as a different stage. The beta version also appears in the randomizer. Several beta stages, I think there's 8 total, have been brought up in this as part of the randomized setting.
I believe that is correct. As Paratroopa is progressing nicely, BigZeeff had a little bit of BigZeeff and Herbaceous Meteor have had a little bit of trouble, but Zeeff is out, and DemonBattler finds 7-6, I believe. A level that you won't see very often in a vanilla Mario 3 speedrun, because it's a level that has a skip. I believe this is 7-6.
There's an option to go to either 7.5 or 7.6 in the vanilla speedrun, but in the rando, what you'll often find is players sometimes are forced to play this level. They're going to try to skip it the same way they skip 7.1. By the way, just noticed DemonBattler had trouble getting in the pipe there. He's going to have to do this whole cycle again. And Paratroopa took a death. BigZeeff didn't try to do the skip. So normally in the blocks you can do a clip there to get through the wall. You can go right to the end of the stage. You don't have to do any of this.
Yes, it's a more difficult clip to do in this stage than in the other one that you can do this. Everyone so far on the first on the same stage, and yes,
Herbaceous Meteor got that clip that we were talking about.
Well, very good job, Herbaceous, and this race is going to be in the Group 1 flags, which are notable for leaving the general map layout the way it's supposed to be. The second of our doubleheader will be the Group 2 flags, which they change up the map in very interesting ways, which we will see when we get there later tonight.
I'm watching BigZeeff right now. I'm trying to figure out what it is he's doing. He's trying to do some... Is he trying to clip in that wall in some way for some reason? He just took a death now.
I'm not sure if BigZeeff is very familiar with this stage.
I wonder that.
It's always possible, as Herbaceous Meteor is progressing through. I forget which fort this is, but it is. It's 7 Fort 1, I believe, actually.
Yeah, it's the first fort in World 1 is the so-called abandoned or Fort Knox fort, because you can get a lot of gold in the first room, and then there's nothing in the other room.
And it's an interesting one because it is one of the few levels that has an item box that is not randomized, because you are required to fly to beat it. So the item box that gives you access to flight will always have that Tanuki suit. As Paratroopa enters Fort Knox.
Ooh, we have a hammer in the Piranha Plant item there.
Hammers.
And another death for BigZeeff. Ooh, he's not having a good time on this stage. He got a game over, actually.
That will send him, unfortunately, back to the start and reset his numbered stage progress.
He's immediately 5 minutes behind everyone in this seed as a result of that.
Herbaceous fighting Ludwig, who is a one-hit Ludwig. In these randomizer, the nature of the Koopalings will always be the one for the correct world. So Ludwig will always be the boss of World 7, but the nature of what he will do and how many hits between 1 and 5 will be randomized. So there could be some very challenging Koopaling fights in a cruel seed.
And the ship he's on is also randomized because obviously with the levels randomized, the ship they call home also will change as well. And we had our first Koopa clear whip by Herbaceous Meteor. We have our first king, very grateful, who wants to go outside, apparently. And he's moved on to the next world, which is World 1.
That is correct. And as Herbaceous showed off, one feature of the randomizer is the option to make the hammer item be able to break locks that are normally only breakable by beating the fort. So, which means that there are many shortcuts you can take in a world map if you can find those hammers.
Okay, is going to be moved. Oh, but I should say first we have DemonBattler who finished his first ship, so he's taken out Ludwig. Looks like Paratroopa is about to start that stage.
Yes, he just collected the hammer.
And BigZeeff is picking a box whose contents will help him on his way.
Yep. Herbaceous Meteor is starting the first of the hand levels. Interesting note about the hand levels is that although the item you will get is randomized, all of the hand levels will still give the same item. So there are at least 2 more frog suits for free sitting out there somewhere in the game.
I personally am a fan of a frog suit Bowser kill, so let's go ahead and have frog suit Bowser.
I'm not good enough to do frog suit Bowser kills, unfortunately. And picking up another hammer.
Oh, BigZeeff is riding a muncher right now. The sprites just did something really weird on his lift there.
Yes, one thing that does occur in the randomizer is that the sprites just sometimes aren't happy.
Does he not? No. Oh, he's finally figured out he can drop down there, so I think he's finally going to make progress, BigZeeff will here.
That's good. And
he's going back down. What is he doing?
As Herbaceous defeats Larry Koopa to beat World 2, we'll find out what World 3 has in store. As it is a confusing level.
Hammer brother, in the castle! Thought you ought to know.
Yes, a fun little king text. And here we have level 8-2.
Oh, this fish is gonna make the quicksand annoying.
Yes, and it's my opportunity to bring up another feature of the randomizer, which is that more or less any stage can have those fish, boss bass, who will love to eat you, or our good friend the Angry Sun. The only stages that can't have those are the fortresses, the airships, and I believe and Bowser's Castle. As DemonBattler gets through Larry, with Paratroopa not far behind, and Zeeff entering Fort Knox.
We never know that Iggy is a 4-hit Iggy today, so he's been doing some working out, notice, because he lasts a little longer than he usually does. So, and we're getting our typical "here's looking at you" kid message instead of the Hammer Brother one, because, again, there's no different flavor text for having a raccoon tail.
And Paratroopa getting through Larry smoothly. And next is World 5. World 5 is another world where in the randomizer you would very, very much love to bring a hammer into it. So we should be seeing another solid level skip.
Ooh, we have a death for DemonBattler in the note block section of Vanilla 8.2.
Yes, we do. And Herbaceous choosing to go for level 3 as opposed to the fort, and getting a sky level with our good friend Lakitu.
And takes a hit as it's about to enter the pipe, as he tries to kill Lakitu at the same time. So kind of like a double kill, I guess you could say.
This time, DemonBattler deciding not to deal with the initial set of note blocks and just taking the not necessarily a shortcut, but the easier hidden path.
Herbaceous Meteor took a kill from the Boomerang brothers there. They both got him. And he turns on the frog suit and gets to play with a single one on the Sludge Brothers stage instead.
The only big thing of note that has happened so far was BigZeeff taking a game over in World 1, but other than that, we've had fairly smooth play. Although Herbaceous is having a lot of trouble with these Hammer Bros. The Hammer Brothers, depending with the fact that the Hammer Bros can have different layouts than they would normally have, so there can be some very, very challenging ones, especially when you involve the Fire Bros. This Sky Fort is, or this Tower to the Sky is one of the 4 vanilla stages, no matter what in the game. The other 3 being the 2 piranha plants from Plant World that we finished up earlier, and Bowser's Castle.
A little tech, and this happened about a minute ago. I just didn't want to interrupt you, obviously. But you noticed that during the Boomerang Brother fight on Herbaceous Meteor's side, he actually took hits, lost his frog suit, lost his mushroom after he got the fire flower to appear. Later games actually do give you the fire flower in those cases, but in Super Mario Bros. 3, if you're small, whatever item you see is going to give you a mushroom. You don't get whatever that item is in this game.
Ooh, Paratroopa taking a death also at the Boomerang Brothers. Checking out the anchor. In Mario 3 Randomizer, the anchor can be chosen to be just a random item, and in this one they are hammer suits. So I think he's definitely hoping to find another anchor at some point before the end of the game.
And it looks like Paratroopa is going to go hammer strats now. I don't know if you've seen any card games played in this round today, have we?
And Herbaceous have.
Oh, I may not have noticed them. Okay.
I believe the only item I'm sure Paratroopa got is, I believe, mushrooms are 1-ups, which unfortunately is about as unvaluable as it gets for a randomizer card game, as BigZeeff takes out Larry and is now going to be heading to the Sky World himself. And Herbaceous and DemonBattler have both been having some trouble here with the Sky Tower, but Herbaceous has gotten through it first.
Oh, that blooper was trying to give Herbaceous some trouble there, but he got away from it. I believe this was a beta level that Herbaceous was just in as well.
Did Herbaceous not pick up another hammer? Because I noticed that if Paratroopa has a hammer, then there must be one in the card game, which...
Well, Herbaceous just picked up a pair of mushrooms, and now picking up 20 coins. We're going to get to see what items those are soon. And got some flowers too. There's the 1-ups. And 10 coins, we have a match. Star and mushroom, no match. I see Fire Flower, Starman, and yeah, nothing important in those last 3 items that he has. So not a lot in the card game today.
Okay, so it seems that Herbaceous is saving his hammer. Possibly for World 4. The giant world where you can also get a good skip through hammers. It's an interesting play, and 1-6 taking down Herbaceous now.
Yeah, he fell and he slipped past the block instead of landing on it. Unfortunately, a very easy way to take a death in that level, and that's exactly what he just.
Paratroopa playing smooth, working his way through 1-6, as BigZeeff is not that far behind. And now we have 1-2, I believe, which is a level that I feel like doesn't come up in the randomizer very often. I don't know why.
Which level? Sorry?
Paratroopa is on 1-2, which I don't believe comes up often. Or 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2. I was gonna say it's not 1-2, it's 3-2.
I said 3-2 the first time.
Oh, that Goomba in there is a very interesting placement for a flying Goomba.
Looks like BigZeeff is going to try for the item, but with a hot foot there, that will make it difficult.
Can't get any more.
Herbaceous is in 6-6, which is a very difficult level. And Paratroopa's on 4. Yep.
Can you not use the tail on a hot foot?
I don't think you can use a tail on the hot foot. The hot foots are just awful.
Oh. Yeah, that would be very difficult then.
I could be wrong, but I don't believe you can.
It would make sense if you can't, because you would think in real life the tail would turn into flames. So that would make sense.
Alright, Paratroopa on Roy. Roy normally heavy. In this case, not heavy and only a 2-hitter.
Yeah, he's a little bit, he's been eating too many snacks on his end today.
Herbaceous Meteor making it to the fort, but DemonBattler is on to the airship. And the cat jumped on the king's keyboard as BigZeeff is making his way through Skyfort.
I don't even know how to say what the cat typed.
Paratroopa checking out the pipe. Will there be value in the pipe? Yes, you get to skip 3 levels, including 1 fort.
This is a very good sign for World 6 already. Now, you don't get to go right to the end, but you need to build a bridge at the end anyway, so even if you did, you'd have to do some stages to get the bridge built.
No, at the end of World 6 is a lock, I believe. Is a lock.
Well,
but regardless...
World 6, but even so.
Regardless, you wouldn't want to use a hammer for 1 level. Especially this early in the seed.
Okay, it looks like Paratroopa did want to make that jump, didn't want to do the coin block method. So he did get the jump eventually, and he is moving on now to where 5 and 6 are. He's choosing 5 today, and that's the beta 1-5. No, that's the beta pyramid?
I don't know if it's specifically beta 1-5, but the design makes me think.
Oh no, this is the beta 1-5. It is.
And Zeeff taking a thwomp in the fort.
that was definitely beta 1.5. So he comes to the end of that. And this fort can be very challenging. If you get the go anywhere you want hotfoots, they can make this fort very, very difficult. In this case, these ones will follow you, so you just have to stay facing them.
Unless you want them out of your way, in which case you treat them like booze.
That works too.
Paratroopa is going to clear out the card game, so if he found value in there, then he will definitely be checking that out.
Flower and star, no match. Flower. Flower, match. Star, star, match. Star, uh-oh. Doesn't know where this one is. Mushroom, no match.
Hammer, the first Hammer Bro, or rather the second Hammer Bro.
Ooh, there was a Hammer Bro in there.
Well, that's bad news for Bowser. And also there's a hammer suit from the Hammer Bro. You kill the Hammer Bro, get his skin.
Yeah, that Starman was the one that represents the Hammer Brothers suit, because that was his last match, so I believe that was the Hammer Brothers suit under the Starman.
Okay. DemonBattler taking a death as Herbaceous works his way through the airship.
Now, something I don't think we touched on at all yet is that all the airships and a lot of levels in the game have had auto-scrolling removed. The reason for that is we don't like going slow. We want to go fast, so don't slow us down. There are, however, 2 stages that still have the auto-scroll turned on. One of those is a beta stage, which is underwater, and the other one is World 5.9, which does not operate correctly without auto-scroll. It can be possible to not be able to jump on the platforms correctly and finish the stage.
That is correct. Those 2 stages just don't function without the auto-scroll, so they're left in and they become valuable cloud targets.
At the expense of whatever item you have going into it when you take the suicide. I think we're having a little bit of a sync up here, which is pretty good.
Unfortunately, we see our good friend on DemonBattler stream, the Karibo's shoe, but not in a place where we can get it. Truly the tragedy of the randomizer is that we do not have access to Karibo's shoe. Most of the time we'll see it. DemonBattler checking out the item in 1-3 and getting a Tanuki suit, so we will see how valuable that turns out to be.
So that was normally a, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that level that Paratroopa just did was normally a boss bass level. 3, I want to say that was?
I think so. But no boss bass in this case.
Yep, no terror fish to eat you up in the sea shade. I don't think we've seen any of those fish yet, which means we're going to see one now that I've said it.
Paratroopa working through 3-1.
Oh, the Boomerang Brother came down and joined his brother.
They can do that?
Hammer Brother suit.
Paratroopa dodging Big Bertha, the one that's in the water stages and just spits fish at you. As DemonBattler going through the card game, and Herbaceous Meteor picking up a cloud from a Hammer Bro.
We are also getting the races synced up here, so if anyone noticed Herbaceous Meteor pausing there for a moment, that was us syncing it up, so don't mind that. We'll probably do the same with DemonBattler in a moment.
And DemonBattler, yes, that is now going through 3-3 as Paratroopa is taking on the Air Force.
Wow,
a level
that brother.
Sometimes they just sometimes some Hammer Bros are not designed to be on certain platforms.
Yeah.
And when they are, they try to jump down, and jumping down can be bad.
So Herbaceous Meteor gets the 1 toot on this whistle will send you to a faraway land. Boy, that's a weird looking whistle. And just to clarify as well, whistles are not available in this randomizer because we are not allowing anyone to warp in this tournament. We want everyone to go through all the worlds normally.
That's correct. There are options if you would like to play a randomizer with the warp whistles to include them, but this is a warpless tournament. Paratroopa heading towards the halfway point of the game, the conclusion of the fourth world, as BigZeeff is making some progress, progress about half a world behind. And DemonBattler now on the Air Force. Lemmy Koopa is a one-hit. Very weak Lemmy Koopa. And yes, all 4 racers, even though it's 2 one-on-one races, all 4 racers are using the same seed.
Correct. That just makes it easier for us. We have on the Speed Game Network, we have tried races with different seeds before, but it just makes it a lot harder to follow when you have 2 different sets of data, 2 different races going on at once. It just makes it a lot harder for us, and it's also hard for the viewers. So we do everyone on the same seed when we have 2 races together on stream.
It's also a lot less fun.
And just to clarify again for the viewers, what we have here is Paratroopa versus BigZeeff and DemonBattler versus Herbaceous Meteor. Those are our competitors in that, so the players on the left, the players on the right are against each other.
Correct, and World 5 is the Vanilla World 3, which is the Water World, which is an interesting one because you have a lot of decisions to make based on that first pipe. Normally, that first pipe doesn't lead you anywhere useful, but that first pipe can determine your entire path in this world. And that path could still lead nowhere useful. As DemonBattler finishes up the world. Ooh, Paratroopa picking up a mushroom and immediately losing it to a fireball. An interesting thing about the Air Force on the randomizer is that normally these jumps are fairly easy. Aside from being forced to make them maybe at a time you're not ready to, but with the auto scroller off, it's one blind jump after another, so you either want to be very careful or you want to be very practiced.
So yeah, they are working, or at least Paratrooper is working. Oh, he got disked. He got hit by a disc.
He got hit by
That is a World 6, that's first forward in World 6 is what stage he's on there. We found Vanilla 1 too.
1-2 with fish hanging out. And yes,
why not?
Paratroopa got hit by what I like to call the, called disco waffles.
Oh, and there is, I believe that's 3-9. And Herbaceous is now fighting. Well, Lemmy didn't really want to have a ball today, did he?
Nope. DemonBattler clearing out the card game as Herbaceous finishes up the world. And we will see now if the path that so far 2 of our runners have taken is leading anywhere, and yes. This is the path to Wendy, who, depending on what she ends up being, is possibly the hardest boss in the game.
Oh, she can easily be the hardest boss in the game, especially if she ends up in one of those weird rooms, and you're trying to jump from a low angle to to bop her, and in this case, it's a straight room. But if you're in a room where it's a low angle, she only got 1 hit.
Wendy is being nice.
That is extremely generous of Wendy.
So what we have left, I believe, are worlds 2, 4, and 8. So in a few brief moments, we will know our exact world order.
Indeed.
As DemonBattler takes a death at the disco waffle, and using a hammer suit. Two, 4, 8 will be the order, and Paratroopa, it looked like, was wondering if some of those hammer suits were actually hammers, and unfortunately, not so much. And BigZeeff will be heading on to World 5.
DemonBattler taking on Boom Boom right now. And Herbaceous Meteor gets disked.
The disco waffles have not been kind today. They've been.
Yeah.
Oh, Herbaceous Meteor, it looked like was considering going for the really cool kill, but I think figured out that he wasn't quite going to have enough time to run into Boom Boom.
Yeah, he would have had to wait for the star to bounce for quite a bit and then possibly have a hard time getting on the spikes if he misjumped. So I think he wanted to make sure he got the kill and also got the mushroom. I think Paratroopa was going to cloud this stage. He took an intentional death and took an intentional lava death there. And there's the cloud, and there he goes past the fort. So hopefully that lock is not in a bad spot. I think he has a hammer he's going to have to use on that.
The lock is not necessary.
Okay,
the lock is just a shortcut to reach the point where he's at. So unless he game overs, which
there's the lock. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what could happen next seed? Next flags? Who knows? That lock could be right in front of the castle itself.
Yeah, I was thinking of the settings for the next seed, not this one. My mistake there.
DemonBattler and Herbaceous are neck and neck, but I believe Herbaceous still has a hammer advantage.
And we have found Vanilla 4-6 from the Giant World, the stage which goes from big to little and back to big.
And Paratroopa going through an interesting World 7 level. As
I like the king message on Herbaceous Meteor. I like being transformed. Please change me back.
Herbaceous choosing now to use his hammer, which will allow him to skip 3 levels and take the lead on his end. Which I think is a good idea, because if this last second half of World 2 is hammer heavy, then you may find some of your hammers going to waste, which is always a terrible feeling in the randomizer.
That hammer brother just jumped into a wall.
Well, they are wont to do that. Paratroopa finding an actual Desert World level in the Desert World. I believe this is 2-1.
No, it's 2-2. I know because I used to try and get the anchor here. Had some trouble with it the first time.
Oh, that's right. 2-1 is the entirely desert level. That's correct.
Right, and he's having trouble with the bloopers now too. Bloopers in this stage is something unusual. And it's trying to escape the pond. The blooper does not want to stay in the pond.
DemonBattler choosing not to try and skip through 7 Fort 2, the maybe toughest level in the game, but getting through it just fine. And Herbaceous Meteor has done terrible, terrible things to a Koopa Troopa.
Paratroopa just got a double kill. And it's down a pyramid, which is ice. Is a bit of a cold pyramid today.
Well, I mean, this is a stage straight out of last week.
It's also another stage that usually is an auto-scroller.
Yep, and as such, many of these jumps that shouldn't be blind, you need to take a lot more carefully. Paratroopa starting up the airship.
Herbaceous Meteor is in Anchorland right now.
That appears to be Blooper Land.
No, I'm referring again to the vanilla anchor. This is where the first anchor appears. But yeah, today it definitely is Blooper Land. There were a lot of bloopers there. We had a 4-hit Morton, it looks like. And Demon uses a block to get a mushroom from another block.
Yep. And we will see if...
And DemonBattler is going to have to hit the note blocks as a Koopa gets trapped in a pipe.
And getting caught by a Paragoomba.
Oh, there's an angry sun down there. There's an angry sun in the lower area.
Yes, that can happen. And that means that when he goes back down, the angry sun will probably be hovering about.
Yeah, he could land right on it without even trying to. Like that, except he luckily dodged just in time.
Paratroopa getting a forced card game and just choosing to run through it as fast as possible.
Card speed running, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, they're in your way. It's like an intentional death, and it's intentional failure.
1, 2, 1, 2. You lose. Good day, sir.
DemonBattler in 4-1 as Herbaceous is about to start Morton. We have not seen many earthquakes today, which probably means that some of the one-hits have been the...
Well, we did see one, the second world. I think it was it Larry in the World 1? Larry, I believe?
Yeah.
He was an earthquake.
Paratroopa going through what is usually the beloved Karibo shoe level, but doing it as a frog. I believe Paratroopa was trying to grab the turtle shell so he could run as a frog, and instead took a hit. And hello, Boss Bass.
Yum! Well, that was not going to get a meal today because it didn't follow him down.
Boss Bass is going pretty hungry today. At least so far.
Yeah, he's going to have to starve. Ooh, a little too quick on the pipe. Got nipped by the piranha as it went in.
DemonBattler is starting the airship of the 5th world as Herbaceous. DemonBattler is starting the airship for the 6th world. Herbaceous giving himself a little trouble with a giant Koopa shell, but recovering. Getting some lag thanks to the number of enemies he's allowing.
We had another sun sprite glitch there.
Yep, when you put the Angry Sun places where it's not supposed to be, it gets even more unhappy. As DemonBattler will be heading to World 7. And Paratroopa will be going to... wave.
That is Donut Fort from World 4.
That is Donut.
That's kind of like vanilla, isn't he, in World 4 right
now?
That
is completely vanilla, in fact.
Completely. Fred?
Maybe someone forgot to hit the randomize button.
Is this even randomized? Well, actually, no, it wasn't completely vanilla, because the first fort where he was right now, that level is actually a different fort. The fort is actually a second fort in this world, so it was just a little French vanilla.
We have a Paratroopa having fun, just messing around and doing a clip by accident as he gets chased by the boss bass, and that's a race that Mario can win.
Yeah, having fun with the clips there, and once the fish is behind you, it can't eat you if you keep you can keep away from.
And yes, this is a four-way doubleheader.
This is 2 different races. Again, for those coming in late, this is Paratroopa versus BigZeeff and DemonBattler versus Herbaceous Meteor.
Correct.
Oh look, Fire Brothers. Oh look, no Fire Brothers.
Yes, the Fire Brothers in water with a double layer can be very dangerous, which is one reason why it's very common to just spend your stars to go in there, because then you can just run into their faces.
You got a P-wing from the from that last opponent, and now in 6-4.
Our runners will probably have plenty of items for World 8, as BigZeeff is working through Piranha Fort. And DemonBattler is seeing Star and our old buddy Boss Bass.
BigZeeff is playing the fort that Paratroopa skipped earlier, so if you want to see this ugly fort from World 7, actually no, you know what, he just took the death, and no, he is going back in as Big Mario now. So if you want to see the fort that was skipped by Paratroopa, here it is.
Herbaceous also unintentionally made a very wise decision in skipping this fort thanks to that hammer use. No way of knowing that you were skipping 7 Fort 2, but it worked out as Paratroopa is finishing up 5 Fort 1. As DemonBattler working through the Donut Fort.
And he's on his way to his 7th and final airship, and he will, as soon as he finishes this airship, which is, by the way, this is pure vanilla. Brad? Let him have it, chat.
Not only is I mean, it's not, if it's for auto-scrolling, if it were auto-scrolling, it would be miserable, because that is the slowest airship in the game, I believe.
And we have no pounding here, so yeah, I'm going to assume that our one-hit wonder, not Wendy, but the other one, must have been the other pounding Koopa, because we only saw, I think, 1 pounding Koopa. And that was a 5-hit.
So Paratroopa is the first one onto the Dark World maze. We will see where that takes us.
BigZeeff is just having some fun now, looks like.
having fun with the spinners. I'm a big fan of the spinners, even though they kill me a lot.
Nah, the spinners are the fans. So, first level in World 8 has Boss Bass on ice.
This is the worst musical.
It'd be better with an Angry Sun.
Now we're talking.
Almost got eaten.
Herbaceous Meteor makes it out of World 7 and will be joining Para in Ice Fish Glory.
And Paratroopa wins the race against the Boss Bass. Is going to move on from the tank stage, which has become an ice stage.
Herbaceous Meteor's king is playing the wrong game.
Oops.
This is not Final Fantasy IV. Pipe
So
1.
Yeah, I was gonna say Paratroopa went to Hans Land and didn't want to play it, so just get to the pipe. Can you imagine if we have to get to that pipe later?
It's possible, but what I do know is that we are on the super tanks. Normally the penultimate level. Here, just a lot of fun.
Again, a little bit of French vanilla here.
BigZeeff dodging bloopers very well, and Paratroopa's now.
Look at all those Hammer Brothers whose Paratroopa has, and he gets eaten.
That level, very interesting if you choose to just start running forward like you normally should. This is a beta level, and it has... Generally, you want to do this level either start this level with a tail. The tail is the ideal item here, is an ideal item whether it's a Leaf or a Tanuki suit, because then you can break blocks. Otherwise, you get to contend with the lower level.
And guess who's back?
A whole bunch of nonsense.
Boss Bass is back, and he's hungry for more.
Paratroopa escapes. Herbaceous Meteor, it looks like, has chosen to go the handbridge route. So, we should find out, ooh, and Paratroopa has found an auto-scroller, while Herbaceous Meteor has found the Navy.
In the Navy.
You can sail the 7 seas.
In the Navy.
I don't know the other words to the song.
And sing.
And DemonBattler will be our third runner to make it to World 8. As Paratroopa they're taking out the flying fire snake.
Oh, it looks like Herbaceous got handled.
Yes.
So he's doing a hand stage in World 4 or 5 right now.
Yes, a fun little hand stage. Paratroopa is going to have lots of pipe choices, though, so we will see. And Paratroopa, who has chosen the correct path and is in the door fort. This fort, very simple. Go in the 6th door.
Yep,
you win.
It's the door 6 fort. So since we know that, we know Herbaceous Meteor is exploring an area he doesn't need to be in, unfortunately for him.
Herbaceous, though, did have a hammer, so did not have to go all the way back. So should be heading that way too, as Paratroopa starts Bowser's castle.
He almost lost the hammer suit to the laser. He had to push up carefully to make sure that he held on to that. So now he's going to try and take out any marauding enemy that comes out, like that hotfoot. I don't think he can take out the discs with the hammer, so I don't think he can take out the discs with anything, actually.
Waffles are invincible.
That's what I thought. And he gets through the clip. And he's going to wait for this one to fall and jump, and there you go, and he's in the door.
DemonBattler on super tanks as Herbaceous is searching for door 6 and finds it.
So Paratroopa got through the last laser. He just has to avoid a few fireballs, and we get to go and have a long and glorious fight with the King of Evil himself. Hi, Bowser. Bye, Bowser.
Bowser got a hit in, but not in time to survive.
Like I said, a long, glorious battle. That was a very long 2.5 seconds. So Paratroopa has finished the first seed, and we will get an official SRL time for him of 50 minutes and 42 seconds. Get your GGs in chat.
And everyone, be sure to stick with us, because once again we will have a second race beginning pretty much as soon as we can get it set up after everyone is completed.
Yeah, we are going to let the other runners finish. So even since Herbaceous looks like he's on track to win this one, we might get to see the hammer finish on this one. DemonBattler and BigZeeff will be able to finish the seed if they wish to, or if they choose to forfeit, move on to the next seed, they can do that as well. And then once everyone is ready, we'll probably take a few minutes there so everyone can take a little break, get set up. By the way, Herbaceous took a hit from Bowser as Bowser fell. That is unusual, but I guess that's the way the game was coded. So once everyone is done, and once everyone's had a few minutes to chill and get ready for the next race, get in the right mindset, we'll move on. DemonBattler just took a death of 5-9.
Yep, we will wait for DemonBattler and BigZeeff to finish, and then we will stay with you. DemonBattler progressing through the auto-scroller as BigZeeff is staring
we
at...
probably should get the marks finished for the done runners here.
We should do what?
I was gonna say we probably should have gotten those marks in for the finished runners. We just didn't.
Yes. BigZeeff is utilizing a DemonBattler.
I just changed over to Demon because
yes,
he's further ahead. But yeah, BigZeeff is using different music as we were just saying. That's correct.
Yes. One option in the randomizer is the option to choose to randomize the music, and that option has no impact on the flag set. So it's an option that's completely up to runner preference.
Yep, it's exactly the same as if you were playing Link to the Past or Zelda 1 Rando and you decide you want a different heart color. It just changes the cosmetics. It doesn't change the game itself. That fire bro did not want to go. He took a couple hits for that block and hung in there like a champ.
And that flying fire snake is giving DemonBattler fits here. It's not an enemy you can run away from. You need to either keep dodging or you need to engage it. And so far, neither has been working out for DemonBattler.
Engage. There it is.
Let's see which. All right, there we go.
He has engaged the enemy. The enemy has been taken.
Yes, the P-Wing has allowed DemonBattler to defeat the Fire Snake, and I believe that is the last level before the pipe. Yep, this pipe. Assuming DemonBattler wants to go fight Bowser. Door 6 for it. 1, 2, 3. Womp.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 door.
Ah.
And BigZeeff is going through his last fort before getting to his last airship, and he will soon be on World 8.
DemonBattler using a star for safety's sake to deal with the lasers.
Ooh, and BigZeeff got disked again.
Yeah, those discs can be a pain. The vile waffles. DemonBattler going for the clip, as Zeeff will be heading to an airship.
He's having a time with this clip.
It takes a little getting used to the exact timing of how to do it. There we go.
Got him.
Good job. And we will see now how avoiding that one laser that laser's just meant to catch you off guard and make you worried about the others. We have Hammer Mario everywhere.
Then you get to the second one, it's like, why are you not functioning? You're broken!
DemonBattler.
Bye, Bowser.
DemonBattler wins and manages to keep the hammer suit.
Get your GGs in chat for the good hammer kill this time.
That's how a hammer kill is supposed to go. This was just not a nice seed for Bowser. We've seen so many hammer suits.
Yeah, Bowser was doomed from the beginning. By the way, we should probably get the times for the other runners here too.
Yes.
Our second place finisher, but the winner of his race, again, Herbaceous Meteor, with an official SRL time of 51 minutes and 47 seconds. And then DemonBattler's time, third place in the race, second in his race, 56 minutes and 58 seconds.
Herbaceous Meteor will move up to 3-0 with this win. And we'll be hoping to go to 4-0 with the flag set 2, and Paratroopa will jump up to 2-0. So good starts, very good starts from both of our winners. BigZeeff having some fun with the ice. All right, BigZeeff with a choice to make. choosing to hang out in the underground and not getting eaten by the fish.
Yeah, this is a very difficult stage to deal with the boss pass in. He did find a pipe that he can get into with the tail, and the fish is still alive, so it should not follow him down. He is in good shape here.
Yes, the secret to that level is bring a leaf. It makes everything a lot less nonsense.
Annoying.
BigZeeff working through the auto-scroller with the benefit of appealing. Well done to get through there.
The nice water music in the water area. Or that was not water music. What was that music? That was note blocking. That was note music.
I believe yes, note music.
Da-da-da. Anyway, we are going on to Bowser's Castle for the final time in this seed.
And using a music box just because.
Why not?
That's a very good point.
Now, if you ever have to ask why, the answer is why not. And we are going for the hammer strats again. It is the common thing to do against the Bowser. Turtles don't like hammers. That's why that's why they're enslaved to him.
I mean, it's a lot of fun to just fight Bowser. You don't have to avoid him. You can genuinely win.
Mm-hmm. So now we're on the final area before the final area again.
Yep. Just have to dodge a few fireballs, and the fight is on. There we go. And even jumping on Bowser's corpse for good measure.
Now that's classy. And we have our final finisher with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 33 seconds.